Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the Briggs and Mortar Heights Facebook Live Tips Tuesday. My name is Michelle Briggs. I'm a residential realtor with Strata, Texas. We do this the first, second, and third Tuesday of every single month. The fourth Tuesday of the month, we have listing loans and lattes. I can't even get the name right, with Jonathan Coaster on Void Mortgage. We had our first one last month, or 2 months. This is our third one. So will be our third one in July. Today, we have our guest is Stephen Ambriz. Now, he's the founder of a nonprofit called Paternal Time. You're wondering what that is? Well, we're going to tell you all about Paternal Time today. Welcome, Stephen.
Hello, and thanks for having me.
Yeah. Okay, so Stephen, tell us a little bit about you, who you are.
Well, I'm a father of three. I was lucky enough to sort through the whole COVID and having a baby, well, assisting the wife anyway with her having the baby, because I've got an 11-month-old. So that was fun. But yeah, father of three, live out in Richmond, married, been with my wife a long time. Actually, we've been dating longer than we've currently been married, but that's neither here or there. Point is long-term commitment.
You have a fur baby too, right?
I do. Just picked the little baby up here a couple days ago. Yeah, so that's a good time. It's puppy in the house. You may hear her bark a time or two, or the other baby cry a time or two, just because she can be a little feisty.
Hey, that's what live is all being about. My dog will bark. He does it. So, I just mute myself and just continue talking, right? Okay.
Absolutely.
So I'm excited to share with everyone that's watching or whomever's watching on the replay about this nonprofit, Paternal Time. So tell us, what is it?
Well, it's really an idea that came up back in 2019, and the basic concept is to encourage fathers to spend more time with their kids, or their 2.0s, as I like to refer to them, a time or two, just because I know it's really easy to get busy, and it's usually the family that suffers. And so I got Paternal Time set up to essentially be like an accountability partner. And so you can sign up, and actually I'm encouraging those as this is, kind of in its infancy here, is, post COVID, trying to get it started, to kind of feed off one another. So if, fathers do a certain activity and it's something they love and fun to do, they can post these things and suggest and really encourage fathers to spend more time with their 2.0s. And so that's, in a nutshell, really what it comes down to is being purposeful, scheduling a time, and Paternal Time as a nonprofit, goal is really to be that accountability partner to help fathers continue to do that, to, month in, month out.
Excellent. I love that. I'm a daddy's girl, so I'm all about it.
New daughter. I'm struggling. This is a new one for me. I've got boys down. Now I've got the daughter. So
yes, I have
pointers for me. Appreciate it.
Exactly. I mean, I just love it. I love it. When I learned about it, I really wanted to share this with everyone, to tell them about it. So, all right. So you kind of told us why you created it. So you said you created it in 2019.
Yeah.
What happened? Why did you create it?
Sure. And so, I don't know, I would imagine that to a certain degree, it comes with, just going through life, maybe even just a level of maturity, just thinking about and evaluating kind of how things are going. Well, I find, so this is obviously not my day job, and as a financial advisor, I find that my time is very frequently kind of robbed. I should say family time is frequently robbed, right? Because you go into work early to avoid traffic. Hell, you may stay late at work to avoid traffic. But for me, it might be evening events and seminars and client meetings, and it's just always something, right? And so with that in mind, having this kind of epiphany of saying, I'm just not spending as much time with my kids. I mean, my oldest kid's going to be 9 soon, and it's like, geez, where's the time gone? And so that whole thought led to me saying, as somebody who's in business, things that are on the calendar happen. Things don't get on the calendar don't necessarily happen. So I really recognize this thought of that I really needed to prioritize and set something on the calendar. That way, when I get a call, whether it's coworkers or clients, and say, hey, can we meet at this time to do this and that? I can say, hey, actually, no, I've got something going on that day, or I can't make that happen. And so that concept for myself led me to think, there's no way I'm the only one who can be kind of suffering in a certain way, or a certain thought process like this. I mean, very, very frequently you'll find, and I'm sure it's not unique to only men, but those that are career driven, you tend to kind of sacrifice from the family front. And so for me, selfishly, I'm just thinking about my personal experience as a father and works, and reaching out to others that I would then, kind of resonate with more, is kind of really where this whole idea kind of came to fruition. But what's crazy about it is it was an idea back in 2019. It's officially a 501c3 nonprofit. I got that thing set up and I was ready to kind of get things started, and then COVID happened. And so that kind of derailed everything. And it wasn't here, but 2 months ago, that I thought, you know what, it's time to kind of grab the reins and get this thing started again.
I love it. I just love it because, when you think about it, it's so true. I mean, it's so true in that where people, because we work so much, America across the board, right? I think America is the country that works the most, right? We don't have siestas. We don't take a month, 2 months off. We don't, just businesses don't shut down for holiday here in the States. It just doesn't happen. So it's easy. I mean, even, as a realtor, there is no schedule.
Yeah, you work like, basically, if it's personal time, you're working. I mean, that's like, you're the epitome of this, is like what we're talking about. So kudos to you for making it happen.
I know. I don't have any kiddos, so I don't have that struggle. However, I see it within my friends and my colleagues. And it really is a struggle because they do want to spend that time with their family. However, they're also wanting to pay the bills. I mean, majority of the Americans are 2-income families. That's just the reality of it. So there are sacrifices that people have to make for their job. However, what you're saying is put it in the calendar and don't let anything get its way, right?
Absolutely. Because I mean, hey, it's family. So you got to put family ahead of things for sure.
Right. Because there's a whole quality of life thing behind that.
Absolutely. Couldn't agree more.
I know. I love it. All right, you guys, if you were just joining us, my name is Michelle Briggs. I'm a residential realtor with Strata, Texas. Our guest today is Stephen Ambriz. He is the founder of Paternal Time. He has shared with us what paternal time is, and it really is creating that time as a father with your children and your family, setting aside the time and sticking to that and honoring that time, right? And he shared with us why he created this. Was something that started in 2019 and was getting it kicked off, and unfortunately COVID hit. So the 501c3 paperwork is processed and complete. So you're kicking it off again now, right?
Absolutely.
All right. So if you are watching this or you're watching the replay and something resonates with you and you can get related to what he's saying, below, place #time. I know I got to get my finger right. #time. And I will have Stephen reach out to you. Also, you will see here shortly a link to the Facebook page, because he's going to talk about something that's coming up inside of the of Paternal Time. So tell us about it.
Absolutely. And so getting back to the ideas, I want to try to have regular scheduled events. The next scheduled event is set for July the 11th, which is actually Sunday. We'll get started at 7:30 in the morning, which I know may be early, but it's for 2 reasons. One, it's fishing, and so fishing happens early in the morning. And 2, it is really hot out there, so it's better to get in and be done probably about 9:30 or so, just so we can kind of help beat the heat, even though even at 9:30, it's amazing how hot it could be. But definitely, I've got the events out there on Facebook. So what I would tell you is, if this is something that resonates with you, you can most definitely like my page, Paternal Time. You'll find that on Facebook. But thanks to somebody who's way better marketing than me, I've learned that what I needed to do is create a Facebook group. That way it makes it easier for me to communicate these events out. So I created the Facebook group, Paternal Time Fathers, that you can sign up, and that way you'll get notified anytime we host an event. And again, I can't stress this enough. I would encourage you to post, events that you've got scheduled for your kids, or even if you've done something, just, be a part of the motivation for others to do the same, even if you can't necessarily show up for the events that we host. And good news is we'll always host other events, and so we'll make sure that there's opportunity out there for sure.
Yeah, share what you did with your kids this past weekend or what you have planned coming up. Maybe someone missed the circus that's coming to town and you got tickets. You should share that so that way other people could take their kids too, right?
Absolutely. And again, I love doing those things, but another key thing I try to put out there is it doesn't always have to be even necessarily about spending money. I think a lot of times we use that as um, maybe a reason that we can't get something done. For our last event, we simply went to a park and we went on a trail hike, and I printed out some materials to just help educate the kiddos on actually what poison ivy, poison oak, poison sumac was, just because it's amazing how many people don't know. And even a couple of the fathers are out there had no idea. So it was fun kind of pointing it out to say, yeah, this is not something you want to mess with. Hopefully, we'll save some pain and agony here for, for somebody in the future.
Don't touch that. Not that one.
Exactly.
Oh, did you have pictures of it? Like an actual picture of the actual
I
plant?
did. I actually put together a little trifold. It's a little trifold. It has some information about it. And here's a little bit of information, something that I didn't know until somebody made me aware, that apparently you are never supposed to burn any of those poison ivy, poison sumac, and poison oak. And the reason being is that the chemical that actually becomes airborne. And so people can inhale it and it can actually create a severe, asthmatic reaction to this sort of thing. I didn't know that, but thinking about even family friends that might be doing some yard work and putting a burn pile over there, I could definitely see how it could be problematic. So that little free advice there, don't burn it.
Yeah, don't burn it, right? I mean, that's like farm and ranch. If you own a farm, ranch, there's burn piles. So don't put that stuff in there. That's good to know. That's a good tip. It's Tips Tuesday. That's a good tip.
Sure.
That's not the tip for today.
That one's free.
Yeah, that was a free one. Yeah. Awesome. All right. So July 11th, go to his Facebook page. Sorry, this hair will not stop. The Facebook page, his Facebook page, Paternal Time Fathers. He also does have a website, paternaltime.org. When you go to the main page, there's a click that'll take you right to the Facebook page. Scroll down, join their newsletter so you can get notifications of upcoming events, all of that great stuff. And become a part of the conversation of paternal time and share the ideas and the fun times that you had with your kiddos as a dad, right?
Absolutely. Number one goal there.
Yay. Okay, so this is the official tip for Tuesday. So what's your tip for today?
So after discussion and getting some good advice, we've cycled back down to the point here that really we work to live. We don't live to work. And with that in mind, time management is the thing that you would want to focus on. That way you can make sure you create time to take care of those things that are most important, such as your children or the rest of your family. So there's the tip: manage your time well. That way you can work to live instead of living to work.
Amen. Amen. All right, you guys. Well, that is it for today. Stephen, thank you so much for joining us. Remember, Paternal Time Fathers on Facebook, paternaltime.org on the World Wide Web, or I don't know, some other people call it interweb, whatever that is. I always ask you to follow me on Instagram, follow me on Facebook. If you are watching today on YouTube, subscribe below. My finger right, subscribe below. I always say, all you have to do is search RELTR, the number 4 and the letter U, because I